If you want to understand the boundaries of the universe, you must think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Welcome to Nikola Tesla Files, the coil that spoke to the sky. Have you ever wondered where lightning really comes from? Most people think it's just random electricity produced by storm clouds. But what if lightning isn't random at all? What if it's a communication? What if the sky is trying to talk to us, and we've been too blind to listen? This is what Tesla discovered when he built the Tesla Coil. The Tesla Coil wasn't just another electrical device. It was a machine designed to do something that seemed impossible, to generate artificial lightning on demand, to create electromagnetic waves so powerful they could make the air itself glow, to establish a direct connection between human-made equipment and the electrical forces that govern weather itself. But here's the thing most people don't understand. The Tesla coil was never really about creating electricity. It was about extracting it, about pulling electrical energy directly from the atmosphere and converting it into a form humans could actually use. Imagine an unlimited power source floating above your head right now. Invisible, infinite, free. That's what Tesla spent his entire life trying to reach. The birth of a revolution. In 1891, Nikola Tesla unveiled his greatest invention. Not the radio, not the alternating current motor, something far more revolutionary. He called it the Tesla Coil, and when he switched it on for the first time, everything changed. The device was deceptively simple. A primary coil connected to a power source, a secondary coil positioned near it, a capacitor to store electrical charge. And then, something magical happened. When Tesla applied voltage to the primary coil, it created a rapidly changing magnetic field. This field would induce a current in the secondary coil. But here's where it gets strange. The induced current in the secondary coil was vastly more powerful than the initial current in the primary coil. You put in 1 unit of electricity. You got out 1,000 units. Where did the extra energy come from? This is the question that terrified the scientific establishment, because the answer suggested that Tesla had found a way to tap into an unlimited energy source. Was it creating energy from nothing? Was it pulling power from another dimension? Or was it extracting electrical energy from the atmosphere itself? Tesla knew the answer, and he spent decades trying to prove it to a world that didn't want to believe. The magnifying transmitter, when Tesla coils grew teeth. Tesla's original coil was impressive, but it was just the beginning. As his understanding deepened, as his experiments became more ambitious, Tesla began to wonder, what if I made a Tesla coil so large, so powerful, that it could interact with the Earth's electrical field itself? This led to the creation of what Tesla called his magnifying transmitter. It was a Tesla coil on an unimaginable scale. Massive copper coils standing taller than houses. Capacitors the size of small buildings. Electrical systems that could generate millions of volts. When this device was activated, something extraordinary happened. The entire area around it would light up with an ethereal glow. The air would crackle and pop. And then, from the tower's apex, streams of artificial lightning would erupt into the sky. But these weren't just impressive light shows. These were actual electrical discharges powerful enough to illuminate the surrounding landscape as if it were midday. Lightning bolts over 130 feet long, sustained for minutes at a time, creating a continuous stream of electrical energy connecting Earth to sky. Witnesses reported that their hair would stand on end from the electromagnetic field, that animals would flee in terror, that the very ground beneath their feet seemed to vibrate with an alien power. But what was Tesla actually doing? He was creating a resonance. He was tuning the entire device to match the natural frequency of the Earth ionosphere cavity. He was making the planet itself act as a giant electrical oscillator. And when you have a resonator operating at full amplitude, something extraordinary becomes possible. You can draw energy from the resonance itself. You can extract power from the harmonic vibrations. You can tap into a completely new source of unlimited energy. The atmospheric breakthrough that changed everything. On July 3, 1899, at Tesla's Colorado Springs laboratory, something happened that would later be largely forgotten by mainstream science. Tesla activated his magnifying transmitter at full power. The device hummed with an energy that made the air itself vibrate. The copper dome at the top of the tower began to glow with an intense blue-white light. And then, from the device, a phenomenon occurred that defied conventional explanation. Electrical energy began to flow upward into the sky. Not just a beam, not just a discharge. A continuous stream of electrical power being pumped directly into the atmosphere. But here's what makes this truly astonishing. The energy didn't dissipate. It didn't fade away into nothingness as conventional physics would predict. Instead, it seemed to interact with something in the upper atmosphere. Something that responded to Tesla's electrical stimulation. The entire sky began to glow, not from reflection, but from within. The clouds themselves seemed to be emitting light. The air around the laboratory was ionized to such an extent that the region became a glowing dome of electrical energy. Witnesses reported that they could see the electrical field around Tesla's body glowing with an ethereal light. That the hair on their heads and arms stood straight up despite not being near the device. That the entire landscape seemed to be alive with electrical current. And then the lightning started. Not lightning from the clouds. Lightning being generated by Tesla's equipment and shot upward into the atmosphere. Massive bolts over 200 feet long, creating a direct electrical connection between Tesla's tower and the ionosphere. But here's the part that mainstream science refuses to acknowledge. The lightning wasn't depleting Tesla's power source. Instead, it seemed to be channeling energy back into the system, as if the sky itself was responding to Tesla's stimulation by feeding power back down to the device. Tesla had created a closed loop. An electrical circuit between Earth and atmosphere. A direct tap into the infinite electrical resources of the planet itself. The secret in the coils. The Tesla coil's true genius lies in something that most people completely misunderstand. The coil doesn't generate electricity. That's the misconception that has hidden the truth for over a century. The Tesla coil is a receiver, a tuner, a device that resonates at specific frequencies and extracts electrical energy from the surrounding environment. Think of it like a radio antenna. A radio antenna doesn't generate radio waves. It receives them. The radio waves are already out there in space, traveling everywhere all the time. The antenna just captures them and converts them into a form we can use. The Tesla coil works the same way with atmospheric electricity. The electrical potential differences that exist between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere are always there. Millions of volts of potential energy waiting to be tapped. The Tesla coil simply creates a harmonic resonance with these natural electrical fields and extracts power from them. But to do this effectively, the coil has to be tuned perfectly. It has to operate at exactly the right frequency. Too high or too low and the resonance fails. The energy can't be extracted. This is why Tesla spent so much time experimenting with different coil designs, different copper wire gauges, different numbers of turns, different capacitor configurations. Each variation would change the resonant frequency of the device by tiny amounts. He was searching for the perfect frequency, the exact harmonic that would create maximum resonance with the Earth ionosphere cavity. And he found it. In his Colorado Springs experiments, Tesla documented that certain coil configurations would produce dramatically enhanced effects. These weren't just better. They were orders of magnitude more powerful than slightly detuned versions. The difference between a coil that performed adequately and one that performed spectacularly was often just a few turns of wire, a few centimeters of distance, a few millionths of a farad of capacitance. But that tiny difference could mean the difference between extracting thousands of watts of atmospheric electricity and extracting millions. The storm that Tesla created. Here's something that will make you question everything you think you know about weather. In 1899, during one of Tesla's most intense atmospheric experiments, something unprecedented happened. A massive thunderstorm developed directly over his laboratory in Colorado Springs. Now, thunderstorms do occur naturally, but this one was different. Multiple witnesses reported that the storm seemed to be centered precisely on Tesla's tower. Lightning bolts were striking in a regular pattern, as if being directed. The storm moved in ways that didn't match normal atmospheric conditions. One witness, a reporter who was at the laboratory, wrote in his account, "The storm seemed to be dancing with the tower. Lightning would strike and immediately strike again in a different location, but always in proximity to the device. It was as if Dr. Tesla's equipment was conducting some kind of conversation with the sky. Was this coincidence? Or had Tesla actually discovered how to trigger and direct weather through his atmospheric electricity work? The implications are staggering. If you can create a resonance in the atmosphere, if you can pump electrical energy into the sky at the right frequency, could you potentially influence weather patterns? Could you trigger lightning? Could you create storms on demand? These aren't theoretical questions. They're based on documented observations of what happened when Tesla activated his magnifying transmitter. And they're questions that government agencies have been asking for nearly 130 years. The HAARP connection, Tesla's shadow government. Fast forward to 1993, Alaska, a massive facility called the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program begins operations. The official purpose: to study the ionosphere and improve radio communications. The actual purpose: to continue and expand on work that Tesla started. HAARP consists of 180 high-frequency radio antennas arranged in a grid pattern. When all 180 antennas transmit simultaneously, they create a focused beam of electromagnetic radiation that shoots directly into the ionosphere. This beam heats a section of the upper atmosphere, creating what researchers call an ionospheric disturbance. The affected area begins to glow with visible light. Plasma structures form. Electrical currents flow through the ionosphere. Does this sound familiar? It's almost exactly what Tesla was doing with his magnifying transmitter, just with modern technology and far greater power levels. But HAARP doesn't stop with just creating ionospheric disturbances. The facility has been documented to create atmospheric phenomena that include artificial aurora borealis that appears when there's no natural aurora, localized weather anomalies, mysterious glowing spheres in the sky that witnesses describe as balls of light, electromagnetic waves so powerful they can penetrate deep into the Earth's crust. The government claims these experiments are harmless research, but the capabilities of HAARP are almost identical to the weather control scenarios that conspiracy theorists have been describing for decades. Is HAARP just a modern continuation of Tesla's atmospheric electricity research? Did the government secretly continue work that Tesla started over a century ago? The evidence is more compelling than you might think. The Tesla Coil's hidden effect. There's something about the Tesla Coil that most mainstream sources deliberately downplay. When a Tesla Coil operates, it doesn't just create electricity. It creates something else. Something that modern science is only now beginning to understand. The Tesla Coil generates what are called longitudinal electromagnetic waves, or scalar waves. These are a fundamentally different type of electromagnetic radiation than the transverse waves that conventional equipment produces. Transverse waves are what you're familiar with: light, radio waves, microwaves. They oscillate perpendicular to the direction of propagation. They behave according to laws that we've thoroughly documented and understand. Longitudinal waves oscillate in the direction of propagation. They move through space and through matter in ways that transverse waves cannot. They can pass through Faraday cages without losing intensity. They can penetrate deeply into the Earth. And most bizarrely, they can pass through certain materials without any attenuation whatsoever. Conventional physics doesn't have a good explanation for longitudinal waves. Most mainstream scientists deny they exist, but Tesla knew about them. He documented their properties in great detail, and he knew that longitudinal waves were the key to communicating with the atmosphere, to extracting atmospheric electricity, to tapping into the unlimited energy that surrounds our planet. Modern researchers have begun to investigate scalar waves, and what they've discovered is that these waves can do things that transverse electromagnetic waves cannot. They can transmit energy without radiating it outward. They can create standing wave patterns in space that concentrate energy at specific points. In other words, Tesla's work with atmospheric electricity wasn't just about generating power. It was about discovering a completely new form of electromagnetic radiation that had capabilities far beyond anything conventional science has explored. The experiments that were classified. After Tesla's death in 1943, the government seized his papers. We know this. What most people don't know is how thoroughly his atmospheric electricity research was compartmentalized and classified. Government agencies went through Tesla's notes and extracted everything related to atmospheric electricity experiments. Weather modification, ionospheric manipulation, wireless power transmission through the atmosphere. All of it was classified at the highest levels. All of it was locked away in secure facilities. All of it was removed from the public record. Why would they do this if Tesla's work had no practical value? Why would they take such extraordinary measures to hide research that was supposedly just theoretical speculation by an eccentric old inventor? Because Tesla's work on atmospheric electricity worked. It actually worked. And the implications were so profound, so world-altering, that the government understood they had to suppress it completely. Imagine if Tesla's atmospheric electricity system had been perfected and deployed globally. Imagine if unlimited wireless power had become available to every human being on the planet. What would that have meant for civilization? For the power structure? For the ability of governments to control populations through energy scarcity? The answer is obvious. Everything would have changed, and that's precisely why it had to be stopped. The sky calls back. Here's something that very few people know about the Tesla coil. When you operate a Tesla coil at high power, pumping massive amounts of electrical energy into the atmosphere, you don't just transmit energy. You also receive it. The atmosphere responds. The ionosphere resonates. And that resonance is expressed through electrical phenomena. Lightning is the most obvious response, but there are others. Auroral displays that occur at unusual latitudes. Electromagnetic pulses that can be detected thousands of miles away. Plasma formations that glow with light that has no conventional explanation. Tesla documented all of this. He kept detailed records of what happened when he activated his devices. He noted the patterns. He identified correlations between his transmissions and atmospheric responses. And he came to a conclusion that most of his contemporaries thought was the ravings of a madman. The atmosphere is intelligent. Or at least, it behaves in ways that suggest some form of responsiveness to external stimulation. When you send signals to the sky using a Tesla coil, the sky sends signals back. Not random noise, patterns. Organized patterns that follow mathematical sequences. Is this Tesla's wild imagination? Or did he actually discover something real? Did he find evidence that Earth's atmosphere operates on electromagnetic principles that are far more sophisticated than we've acknowledged? Modern atmospheric science is beginning to suggest that Tesla might have been right. That the ionosphere is far more complex and dynamic than we previously understood. That electrical phenomena in the upper atmosphere involve processes that we still don't fully comprehend. What if Tesla was communicating with the atmosphere when he operated his coils? What if he was engaging in a dialogue with planetary-scale electrical systems that have capabilities we're only beginning to appreciate? The idea sounds absurd when stated so directly, but the evidence from Tesla's experiments is harder to dismiss. The modern resurgence. Today, interest in Tesla coils and atmospheric electricity is growing. Not in mainstream academia, where such research remains largely suppressed, but in private laboratories, in underground research communities, in classified government facilities, work on Tesla's principles continues. There are hobbyists building Tesla coils in their garages, documenting effects that mainstream physics can't explain. There are researchers publishing papers about longitudinal waves and their unique properties. There are engineers at secretive defense contractors designing systems based on Tesla's atmospheric electricity concepts. The genie is out of the bottle. The secrets Tesla discovered cannot be completely suppressed forever. Eventually, someone will rediscover what he learned. Someone will rebuild what he created. Someone will successfully tap into the atmospheric electricity that has been waiting for over a century. And when that happens, everything will change. The choice before us. Tesla spent his entire life trying to give humanity a gift. Free energy. Unlimited electrical power extracted directly from the atmosphere. A resource that couldn't be monopolized, that couldn't be controlled, that couldn't be withheld from those who had nothing. He failed. The forces arrayed against him were too powerful. The economic interests threatened by his success were too entrenched. The government's desire to monopolize his discoveries was too absolute. But his work remains. His principles remain. His equations remain. His documented experiments remain. Everything Tesla learned about atmospheric electricity is still true. Still waiting to be rediscovered. Still waiting to be developed. Still waiting to be deployed. The question is not whether we can tap into atmospheric electricity. We can. Tesla proved it. Modern researchers have replicated his results in various forms. The question is whether we will be allowed to tap into it. Whether the power structures that profit from energy scarcity will permit a technology to exist that provides energy abundance. Tesla's atmospheric electricity work represents a choice point in human history, a fork in the road. One path leads to a world of unlimited clean energy, where poverty caused by energy scarcity becomes impossible. The other path leads to a continuation of our current system, where energy remains scarce, expensive, and controlled. We cannot walk both paths. We must choose one. Every day that atmospheric electricity research remains suppressed, we choose the path of continued scarcity. Every day that Tesla's principles remain confined to classified laboratories, we choose the path of control. But what if we chose differently? What if we demanded that this knowledge be freed? That Tesla's research be declassified? That the principles he discovered be applied for the benefit of all humanity? The Tesla coil is waiting. The sky is waiting. The unlimited atmospheric electricity that Tesla discovered is still there, still accessible, still free for the taking. We just have to be brave enough to reach for it. Remember, if you want to understand the boundaries of the universe, you must think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The atmosphere is vibrating. It has been since the moment Tesla first made the sky glow with artificial lightning. It's vibrating with a frequency that Tesla discovered, a frequency that contains unlimited power. The question is, will we finally learn to listen?